Good evening, friends. Again, welcome back to National Tax Research Foundation. One more controversy. We want to come with one more controversy, little bit controversy regarding advance ruling authority issued by the Gujarat ARA in the case of Oswald Industries. The core issue revolving around the advance ruling is whether the patient will admit to the hospital for the purpose of accommodation or for the purpose of treatment. If it is a treatment, it will come under clinical establishment or healthcare services or whatever it may be. And as a composite supply with regard to clinical establishment in relation to accommodation, automatically it will be exempted. But in this advanced ruling, the advanced view has taken a different view that patient himself admitted for the purpose of accommodation, not for the clinical establishment or healthcare services like that. They will give some difference of different opinion. So it will be explained by our learned speaker C.A. Sivaprasad Garu to give a clarity regarding the opinion of the NTRF as well as on the advance ruling. Over to Sivaprasad Garu.
Yes, sir. Namaste and welcome all. So today we are going to discuss one very peculiar and strange advance ruling given by Gujarat Advance Ruling Authority. The principal issue involved is that in this case, the applicant is running one naturopathy based treatment system. Okay, so a lot of different varieties of treatments like acupressure, acupuncture, and then hot stone treatment and various other treatments are being rendered. The contention of the applicant is that because it is a clinical establishment and it was rendered by a qualified doctor and there will be a lot of diagnosis involved as per his contention, he claims it to be a clinical establishment and he claims exemption wide entry number 74 of notification 1. Surprisingly, the Advance Ruling Authority had gone on a totally different footing, stating that upon verification of the records, it was found that the price was fixed based on the period of stay and also the type of occupancy, like single bed occupancy, a single or double occupancy, and three kinds of amukha, sumukha, and pramukha kind of different gradations in the nature of the accommodation. So because the nature of accommodation appears to be the prime or the prime runner of fixation of price, the Advance Ruling Authority had opined that the principal supply involved here is accommodation. So it had not gone into the merits to discuss whether it is a clinical establishment or not, whether it fits into healthcare service or not, whether naturopathy is a recognized system of medicine or not. The Advance Ruling Authority had not gone into any of these merits or facts. At the outset itself, the Advance Ruling Authority had cut short the question raised by the applicant on the point that the predominant supply in this case is observed to be accommodation. Now, this is a very concerning remark that we have to pay attention to.
Is it a dangerous finding in your opinion?
It is a dangerous finding, sir, because it simply opens the floodgates. Because we have seen in the composite supply being the point of debate and lot of controversy was spinning around the concept of composite supply already. Now, this advance ruling had prompted the controversy even further. Okay, what decides the predominant nature? What is the guiding factor? The Act is silent about how to decide the predominant nature. So there are multiple trade parlance tests or the ingredient test, what constitutes what, and then the intention test and also the costing or the relative values of the various supplies involved. So how, when multiple things are involved, when multiple goods are supplied, services are being supplied, how to decide the predominant one is itself is a very subjective and a judgmental issue. Okay, now then, this advance ruling had taken a complete tangential view, stating that the accommodation is a predominant one in this supply. Now, on what basis it had concluded that? Is it on the basis of the costing, or is it on the basis of the brochure that was printed by this applicant, stating that the package prices are based on the type of accommodation and the period of the stay? Now, in our personal humble opinion of NTRF, we feel that the concept of composite supply shall be handled with more care, and there is an very imminent necessity on the side of the government also to come up with more clarifications on the manner of determination of composite supply, else the litigation will increase manifold. Okay, now going by the intention test, as rightly pointed out by Sri Krishna Mohan Garu, whether the person is getting admitted there to get the accommodation service or to get the treatment. Okay, and at times the treatment by its very nature requires an admission. Without getting admission, some surgery cannot be performed. And all the more the treatment is a naturopathy based treatment where there is a detoxification in the morning breakfast and some other that was also recited by the advanced ruling authority. Maybe by the very nature of the treatment itself, it may require a complete admission. Okay, or maybe when it comes to the constituent of the cost, maybe the accommodation cost could be a more important point than the treatment itself. Nonetheless, we have got enough of case laws in the past that we have to decide the predominance based on the intention of the parties, the functionality of the item involved. So in this case, whoever is a participant who is getting admitted is not going there for accommodation. Okay, so the findings are that the advanced ruling has relied excessively on the way the brochure is printed, the way the rate chart is printed. Now, whether these things are determinate or whether these things are the important points to decide the nature of the supply, that is a very interesting thing that we have to pay attention to. Okay, so in our opinion, the predominance can definitely not be decided based on the brochure or based on the rate chart, etc. Okay. The predominant character of this transaction is, by any stretch of imagination, cannot be accommodation. Now, whether the naturopathy in this particular case is by a clinical establishment, whether it falls into healthcare service, that was never debated and that was never discussed at length. So we are not making any comment on that part. But to decide accommodation to be the predominant supply in this case, in our opinion, it will definitely open floodgates of litigation in the days to come. Yes, sir. With this, Krishna Mohan sir, I also require your comments on that.
For more value addition, I want to put some words. Now, in the present pandemic situation also, majority of the patients are taking treatment from home isolation only. So, majority of the patients are in home isolation and getting treatment and cured. But exactly. Only 5 to 7% of the patients are admitted in hospital for better treatment purpose. Whether as per this advanced ruling, we can call it as for better accommodation, they want to shift them from home to hospital, and whether this pandemic treatment also equal to accommodation purpose only.
Accommodation, true. It could so happen because when the scarcity is around the bed, the price will also be around the bed. The price will also be around the placement or the manner of. Similarly, to add further example, if you take the educational services, most of the schools are like A campus, B campus, and C campus, where there is an air-conditioned campus. Okay, there the price is high, and in a non-air-conditioned campus, the price is low. If it is placed at a city, the price is more. So, can we call that the predominant nature is accommodation, or the predominant nature is housing them at a particular kind of environment or something, or education is the predominant one? Okay, as rightly exact example. So if COVID requires an admission, can we call that the accommodation or the admission are the predominant ones than the COVID treatment itself? Okay, so it will definitely open up different dimensions of thought process on what constitutes the predominant supply under the composite supply. Yep. So we have to wait and watch. Thank you, sir.
Definitely, at any cost, the mentality of the patient is only for the better healthcare services only, not for accommodation. Even in 5-star hotel, we may get more benefits like gym, that massage centers, etc. But in this case, the appellate authority must take some stand for cure this defect in the advanced rule. Thank you, sir.
True.
Thank
True,
you.
sir.
Thank you.